Hi guys, one of the two cool bros here. You can refer to me as Pokestar Bros, my old channel name, short PSB for short, or just Zach. Anyway, Super Mario Bros. Wonder will be out tomorrow. And not counting Super Mario Maker 2, it's actually shaping up to be the most that my brother and I will enjoy of a mainline Mario game in a very long time, in years, in fact. And when I say this, you may be thinking, oh, you're obviously talking about Super Mario Odyssey, that masterpiece. But I'm actually talking about Super Mario 3D World because my brother and I found Super Mario Odyssey to be kind of mid, in our opinion. But Super Mario Bros. Wonder is looking to be a lot more fun for us personally, and I'm going to explain why. One issue that we personally had with Super Mario Odyssey was the lack of platforming in comparison to other Mario titles. In Odyssey, platforming took a bit of a back seat in order to, to focus on freely exploring open areas, but those open areas were kinda hit or miss, at least in my opinion. Most of the platforming the game did have was restricted to these gray moon pipes, but the areas inside them were once again kind of just hit or miss, not the best that we've seen from Mario. Anyway, open world areas are great, whatnot, but I do feel like Super Mario 64 and its remake, Super Mario 64 DS, did a better job of incorporating plenty of platforming into the open worlds. In comparison, Super Mario Bros. Wonder seems to be all about the platforming. In fact, it seems to have the most creative platforming that we've seen in Mario for a very long time. And I play Mario primarily for the platforming. So that's the reason that I like games like Super Mario Galaxy 2 and Super Mario 3D World more than I like Super Mario Odyssey. Because Super Mario Odyssey had, these big open areas, but they kind of sacrificed in the platforming department, while Galaxy 2 and 3D World had plenty of platforming, and they still had, some wide spaces and whatnot. Now, open world is great and all, but I really like the platform. And you could have both. You could have Super Mario 64, for example, which had open world areas and plenty of platforming, but Odyssey kind of fell short in that department. So Super Mario Bros. Wonder, though, is going to have plenty of platforming, and I'm all for it. Another issue I had with Odyssey was the overabundance of Power Moons. Now, Power Moons were basically the main big collectibles of the game, but they were so oversaturated that getting them felt just less special. There were so many of them, and you're just finding them all the time, and it felt less special. Like, stack Goombas up for the fourth or fifth time, get a Power Moon. Throw your hat on this random sparkling knob, get a Power Moon. Talk to this random NPC, get a Power Moon. Ground pound this random hill, get a Power Moon, etc, etc, etc. And many of the tasks to get a Power Moon were either just too simple, or they were still simple but like really drawn out, like collecting a bunch of bunnies from these areas, but the bunnies are just kind of scattered out, and just wasn't very fun in my opinion. Now, it is true that you don't need to collect all the moons to just beat the game and whatnot, so you can choose to ignore some moons, but in my opinion that these moons shouldn't even exist to begin with if they're not fun to get. Like, it felt so much more rewarding to get green stars in Super Mario 3D World, or to get power stars in Super Mario Galaxy 2, or to get star coins in New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Because they weren't oversaturated. They were a reward for beating the stage, or a reward for doing something special inside the stage. The only moons that had this effect were kind of like, I guess, the multi-moons, but most of the power moons kind of fell flat. But in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, the Wonder Flowers and Wonder Seeds that you collect actually seem like they're going to be tied directly to fun, game-changing experiences in the game called Wander Effects. So I imagine they will actually be very fun to collect, unlike with Odyssey, since out of boredom, my brother actually went ahead and collected every moon in the game. So speaking from his personal experience, most of those moons were kinda trash. I'd also like to talk about Super Mario Odyssey's main gimmick. Mario has a cap that he can throw around to possess different items and enemies. Now, this is an amazing concept, but the execution was largely hit or miss in my opinion. For example, I remember liking the lava bubble, the T-Rex, and the Bowser transformations, but then there are the uproots which just kind of lamely stretch upwards, those grass enemies if you remember, the Pokeos, those bird enemies which kind of just stick to walls, and when you're possessing them you just kind of fling them around and it's kind of a taxing thing to do. And then there are the Fire Bros, when you possess them they automatically jump around for no reason. So, it kind of makes you wish that you just had a regular fire flower because you have more control. Because unlike with power-ups, Mario's Cappy transformations often greatly restrict your movement options, and that's the price you pay for that ability. Obviously and thankfully, Super Mario Bros. Wonder will not be having this problem, as the elephant, bubble, and drill power-ups only seem to add to Mario's movement. The drill power-up makes you be able to drill into the ceiling or the ground, adding to your movement. The bubble power-up allows Mario to jump on those bubbles to reach greater height, adding to your movement. And the elephant allows you to break blocks and just be a powerhouse, and it adds to your movement because you're bigger and you can run across wider gaps. All of these power-ups add to your movement. They don't take anything away like some of the Cappy transformations did. I'd also like to mention that IGN, that gaming review company, they gave Super Mario Odyssey a 10 out of 10, and they gave Super Mario Bros. Wonder a 9 out of 10. And the person that was reviewing Super Mario Bros. Wonder said at least twice that he likes Odyssey better, and that's fine. It's his opinion and whatnot. But I'll have my finalized opinion when I play this game, and I really do think that I'm gonna like Super Mario Wonder better. But what do you guys think? Do you agree or disagree? Do you think Odyssey is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece? Or did you also have some problems with the game? Are you excited for Super Mario Bros. Wonder? Tell us what you think in the comment section below, and subscribe for more content. Peace out.